This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Hi, welcome to the Sound of Gold. Whether you're watching this live or just listening, thank you for being here. I'm glad you are. I am so excited to announce that as of today, we are entering into season 2 of the Sound of Gold. If you know, you know, and if you're new, I don't know if you know, my focus is on music, musicians, music venues, music teachers, music schools, and everything else attached to music, which is pretty much all around us all the time. I would like to focus today on not only a very talented musician friend of mine, but I want to tap into, for those of you that are wanting to get involved in the music arena, whether you're wanting to do musical theater, music on stage, or maybe venture and kind of see what fits you best. There's so much to choose from. And I am so excited today to introduce my very good friend, Miss Avery Sommers. Avery, are you hanging out backstage? There you are. Hi. Can you hear me okay? Stand by for some technical difficulties, I guess. Avery, I know you're there. I don't know if you can hear me. So I have Miss Avery Sommers online today and on our show. Avery is not only a dear friend of mine, but I would have to admit, and completely being transparent, I don't know anybody that's got as much soul as my sister friend, Miss Avery Sommers. Avery, you just continue to amaze me, amaze your audiences, and you continue to show up in so many ways that you're outstanding. And I'm so proud to have you on my show today. And I don't know, again, I don't know if we're having technical difficulties because I don't know if she can tap in and hear me. And
Lisa, I don't hear you.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, so maybe our engineers can work on that behind the scenes. And, okay. Maybe, I don't know if there's a mute button. Is there a sound button? I don't know. So while we're working on that, I want to let you know that Avery has so much soul and she has so much to share with you today. And whether you're interested in performing on stage, whether you're interested in getting involved in musical theater, we have Miss Avery back. Can you hear me better now?
I do.
Yes, wonderful. So Avery, I was just sharing with our audience, and we have friends that are watching us, but then we have friends that might be driving or someplace where they're just listening.
No, it's going in and out. I'm sorry. I don't know why that is.
Huh. I don't know. Well, I know they're working behind the scenes to get it perfect for us. And so I want to...
Sorry, let me interrupt you real quick. I'm sorry. Miss Avery, can you hear us?
The screen is only in the studio.
All right. I can hear both of you. Lisa, but
Yes.
Miss Avery cannot hear you.
Okay.
And I'm wondering if she's on her phone. It
She
might be
is.
because, okay, notifications might be coming in. And when notifications come in on the phone, it makes the sound go out.
Oh, okay.
She heard you when she came back in, so I'm hoping that when she backed out again, when she comes in again, it's possible
Okay.
that she'll be able to hear you. I
All
can't
right.
control anything from this direction. Miss Avery, welcome back. Can you hear us?
It's very broken up, Lisa. I'm not sure why that is, but
Oh.
let's keep going as far as we can.
Let's keep going. Avery, I was saying, I don't know if you heard me, but I know a lot of people, and out of all the people I know, I don't know anyone who's got as much soul as you have.
Oh, all right.
You bring to the table everything you got, plus everything you can bring. And you are such an inspiration, and I admire you beyond the word. Please share with our audience a little bit about maybe your upbringing and what brought you into this world of where you are, because there's so much there. You do so much. I don't even know where to begin.
Honestly, I don't either. I respond very well to questions because otherwise I don't know where to begin about what it is you want to know. So if you can think of something to ask me, I'll certainly.
Yeah, absolutely. Give our audience, because some of our audience are musicians, or maybe they're looking to get into the music world or music theater. Please share with us what inspired you growing up to get to kind of motivate you to do what you're doing.
Well, I think there are things that are born in us. And you and I have had these kinds of conversations for many years. But I believe
Yes.
that things are born in us. And I knew when I was 5 years old that I wanted to sing. I've always known that. And the background that I came from was parents right here in South Florida who both taught school, but they were always very encouraging to me and my siblings. I have two older sisters and an older brother. And they always said, you can do whatever you want. It's not going to be easy. It's
Yeah.
work. So if you put the work into what you want to do, then you get the result. You have to be ready for what result you want, though. But you can't just say, oh, this is going to happen and let it fall out of the sky. If you want direction, go in that direction and be intentional in your direction. That's what I know.
Absolutely. I was with some friends last night having dinner, and one of the conversations that came up is, how do I get involved? And we spoke about stepping into the spotlight of whether you're being a volunteer, a student, um, uh, gathering around like-minded folks that are going to inspire you, and you kind of start there and grow with that. You yourself not only are a singer, an actress, a director, you're a teacher as well.
Yes. Yes, I am.
And I know the last time we spoke, you were sharing you teach at the Maltz Theater.
Yes, I do. I do. I'm on the board there also. So I'm on the board since 2021. And I, last season, I taught a class about scene study, but I called it scene study with a twist because my students wrote their own scenes. And at the end of the semester, we put a show together. They call it sharing. We put a show together and we performed it for about 50 of our friends in the Island Theater at the Maltz. And they've since gone on to do that show in other places. So I'm thrilled that they took it seriously and yet didn't take themselves too seriously and have performed it in their communities. And this year, I'm teaching students about the art of cabaret because that's what
Okay.
I'm doing for many years now.
And tell us a little bit about cabaret for those of us that know the word but don't really know what it all entails.
Well, there are many versions of what cabaret is, but I think in the American songbook genre, we put together a show usually of about 75 minutes of songs. And I always say that all of us in cabaret sing the same 25 songs. It's just a matter of how it's arranged for you, your voice, your audience, how you want to present yourself. And then we sing those songs with what is known as quote unquote patter, and and then talk about the song, what it means to you, how it fits in your life. And then usually that's with either a piano or piano, bass, and drums, which is my preference, piano, bass, and drums.
And give our audience an idea, like just pick out of the hat, like one cabaret song that would be a reference.
Well, I also reference the shows that I've done on Broadway, which was Ain't Miss Pavin, Chicago, Showboat, and those. So I choose songs from those shows, like Ain't Miss Pavin. I think many people in your audience may know Ain't Miss Pavin. No one to walk with, all by myself. No one to talk with, but I'm happy on the shelf. Ain't misbehaving. I'm
Love it.
saving my love for you. So that's one of the songs that I do all of the time because
Yes.
I ask for it all of the time.
Now, I know you're teaching at the malls. If students or want to be students, want to connect and maybe take a class, how would they reach you? What would be the best way?
The best way is to go to the website for the Maltz Jupiter Theater, and there is a list, an infinite list of possibilities, sort of classes across the board of singing and dancing and piano and voice and my class and acting classes. It's amazing what's presented there at now the Goldner Institute. It's the conservatory for all things theater at the malls.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Now, I was thinking about it. You and I, and we've talked about this before. You and I have known each other almost 20 years now. Is that crazy?
That's crazy. Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And not only are you a dear friend of mine, but I had also taken lessons from you in singing at Bob Carter's Actors Rep.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now, are you still affiliated with them? Is that somewhere we could also offer students or listeners to check out? Or to visit?
Unfortunately, Bob's Theater closed last year. And
Oh, I did not know that.
yes, it closed last year. There were a lot of things. I asked recently someone, and there were several things that had to happen for that theater to remain in operation that just not happening. I don't know the details, but unfortunately, it went under last year.
Okay, all right. I did not know that. Uh, I still took a singing lesson with you and a singing class with you.
Hmm.
And you mentioned just previously in the classes you're teaching at the malts, what I loved about taking the class from you, and this is for our listeners too, if you're interested, you not only say, hey, come and learn how to sing the song, like you really tap into like, hey, you're picking the song. Where does the song come from? Who wrote it? Why was it written? And how can you relate to it? And
Yes.
I mean, I love that. I even take that with me when I work with my students, when I'm teaching them piano.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because it's about connecting. It's not just on the surface. As a musician, as an artist, as an
Yeah.
actress, we know it's got to come from inside. It's not just surface.
That's correct. And something else that I teach my students in this particular class, I don't want them to get into the habit of using um, cell phones and iPads and things to look at music. I ask them to please go find sheet music, physical music that you have in your hand. And I'm very tactile, so I like to feel things and understand, look at them, and not sing the way someone else, if it's Adele or if it's whomever it is.
Right.
gives me the opportunity to help you to find who you are in your music and your choices of what you sing. So that's what this particular class is about. This time.
I love that. I love that. And how big of a class is it? And what ages do you start with? Or what's the youngest age?
The youngest age is 22. I only have 5 students. I capped it at 5 because I like to give personal attention, and I'm sure you understand that.
Yes.
Personal attention, and if it gets to be too big, then I lose sight of what I want my students to do, and I think they probably lose sight of what they want to accomplish. So right now we're in the process of choosing possibly 3 songs to make a 5 to 10 minute set of those 5 students. And at the end of the session, which will be in December, we're going to do another share. So it may be an hour show, and I will sing. They all will have an opportunity to sing. So they're learning which songs to choose for their show. I don't choose that music, they do. How they introduce, what song flows from what to what, how they will end it, and how I will introduce them. I want them to write me their introduction of their show.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Very interactive, and
Yes,
it's such a great way to grow together and to bounce off of moving forward.
yes, absolutely. We did that with the scene study with a twist, and I eventually wound up with 3 students out of 6, and they absolutely loved the process. And usually, as you also know, when you teach, you learn.
Yes. Yeah, we learn from each other.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, gosh, you're so talented. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, well, where do I go now? You perform, you have your own band, you have shows coming up. Um, before we get to, I want to go into the Sunset Lounge. I want to share so much with our audience. Before we get there, could you share some secrets about how you've gotten to where you are? Like, how do you get in touch with like Sunset Lounge? Who is it? The people you know? Is it a phone call? Is it work? Is it like what makes it?
It's a great combination of all of that, Lisa.
Yeah,
There are, fortunately, I think for us who have been in business a long time, we make connections.
yes,
And someone will say, "What are you doing now?" Well, of course, it's always the next best thing is the thing that you just did or the one that's coming up.
right.
And the Sunset Lounge is part of my growing up years. I have 2 older sisters, as I may have told you, and they went to the Sunset when they were teenagers.
In
And my
West Palm Beach.
Yes, right here in West Palm Beach. This is where I grew up, and my mother would say to them, "Yes, you may go to the Sunset if you take her," and that was me. So I went to the Sunset when I was a young girl, and I saw all of the acts that would come through, whomever was there, and my sisters wanted to go. I saw them. James Brown was one of my all-time favorites,
Oh,
and
nice.
I saw him many times at the Sunset. But the Sunset closed in the
Yes,
year
I remember.
when the Beatles first came in. The Sunset Lounge closed because that was a place where only African Americans could go in the front door. It was
Okay.
called the Chitlin Circuit.
Wow.
And that meant that African American performers could go in the front door, perform, and get paid. And it was a circuit from Miami to New York.
Wow.
Normal African American performers had to go in the rear door through the kitchen and perform and leave the same way. There was no hanging out. Well, these places were created by African Americans for performers. And so this was a venue that touched my heart
Of
to see
course.
Sunset because when I was a child, I would say, "This is where I want to be when I grow up." And to go back there and to perform there all these years later is a dream come true.
Oh, and you have for our listeners or even our viewers, your um, you can find Avery's page at Avery Sommers, on Facebook, and I know I've seen you have some clips of your band playing
Yes.
at the Sunset Lounge. And um, do you have a 5-piece band, or is it just your you
My
mentioned
bass,
drums?
my bass band is piano, bass, and drums, but we always augment it with horns if we need, or guitar or whatever. But and for the sunset, there were seven of us, two horns and and bass and drums and me, and so. But this coming up now, Lisa, I must say that coming up, I'm going to be singing with the young singers of the Palm Beaches,
Yes, you said.
great group that's been, I think, was created about 25 years ago by conductor Sean Berry. And I will be singing for Mother's Day this year, May 10th, at the Crevice. So I'm
Oh,
thrilled
beautiful.
about that because I think there are at least 300 to 400 voices now with the young singers.
Wow.
So it's incredible.
And one of my piano students went off to, and he's one of the singers. I think I'm not sure if he's graduated high school now. And I'll make a mention. His name is Ozzy. I don't know any other Ozzy because I had a cat named Ozzy.
All right.
And so it's actually a friend of mine's son, Ozzy, who is my student, and has a fabulous voice. And I don't know many others. But I'm so proud of you. You continue to outdo yourself, and I admire that. And you're such a great inspiration.
Thank you.
I want to ask you for our audience, going back to your band.
Mm-hmm.
What was it, or how did you come across meeting with, like, did you set up auditions to have people audition for your band? Were you recommended these bandmates, or what can you share with us?
All right. Well, with my pianist, and his name is Phil Hinton. Phil and I, we figured that we've been working together now for about 30 years. And it's a very interesting process. I heard him playing at the old Caldwell Theater in Boca Raton
Yes. Okay.
show, and he was playing with his son, who was a teenager at the time. And I asked someone, and I don't remember the person now, who is the pianist and how can I get in touch? So he said, well, hang around after the show and I'll introduce you. And we talked for a while, and I found out that he is from London and that he was just here. He played with his son, and he said, give me a call when you've got music that you want to do. And I was getting ready to do a show at the Colony Hotel at the time, and this was
Okay.
in 2009. And I called him, and we started working together and putting together just 15 minutes at a time of shows of music that I thought I would like to do. He's an arranger, a writer,
Mhm.
and a conductor, and with the BBC. And he has worked with many, many cabaret artists here in South Florida and all over the country. He travels wherever. And so over those years, we started working together, but we've done big, big jobs where we would work with piano, bass, drums, guitar, horns, everything, down to him bringing his keyboard to very small shows. It was, if I
Yes.
called and said, are you available? And he would say, what's the job? All right, yes, I'm available. He puts it on his calendar. We get together at his house or wherever, and we'll go over the music. It depends on what the owner or the person wants. Do they want 15 minutes, half hour, an hour, 90 minutes, whatever? And then we choose the right music for the venue and whatever show they want. And we go from there. And Frank Derrick, who is my drummer, Frank and
Yes.
we say that we've known each other since we were uh, in kindergarten together. And
Oh,
that's just how long we've known each other. I know him from New York many, many years ago. So I usually let Phil deal with bringing in whomever he wants on bass and the horns, because if he works well with them, then I'm going to be satisfied. You understand what I mean?
yes.
Yes.
Yes. That's beautiful. Now, a lot of people out there that are looking to get into this world that we're in, I think a lot of them might have maybe a different perception of making it a full-time income. And I know other shows I've had, we talk about the inconsistency of it, and where we don't, as artists, we learn that it's not about, we don't do it for the money. Do you have any comments on that?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's certainly not a lot of money involved in it unless uh, you can consistently work show after show after show and be willing to do a lot of traveling. In the years that I did Broadway and road shows as they are called, I did work very, very consistently in shows in New York and on tour. But I chose to not do that after a while. I needed to be here with an aging parent and eventually with aging sisters and brothers who have all now uh, moved on to a different road. But so I chose to come off of the road and stay here. And my work here is consistent because I choose to make it consistent, meaning you have to dig for what you want. You have to know
Yes.
where you want to go and what you want to do, and then make yourself available to do that. Not to not to get yourself into every situation. You must be careful about what you do and what you
Yes.
speak out into the universe, in my opinion. But if you make connections with people and you find out who they are and what they want and what they do. And if you put yourself out there with integrity, always with integrity, then
Yes.
the work will become consistent if that's what you want. I like working once or twice a month. I don't want to work every weekend. I love being home and doing nothing a lot, you know.
Right. Right.
So I work a couple of times a month. It works out well for me financially, and that's enough. And so that's good. But you know, it takes a while to get your footing in any business, Lisa. You know that.
Yes, it is.
It takes a while, and it takes uh, consistency of it, and working with the thought that it's not going to be for money for many years, possibly. You know, it's for the love of it. Do you love it enough? And you've heard that statement. If you do what you love and you love what you do, you
It's
don't
not
work a
work.
day in your life.
It's true.
And it's true.
It's true. And I don't want to put words in your mouth, and feel free to interrupt me. Um, Being an artist, whatever genre, not you, but our listeners are in, being an artist, and we are creating from a passion of whether it's God or whoever people believe in. It's just a gift we're given, and it's not. When you say work, it's yeah, it's the time we put into it. It's how we grow, how we grow our talent. But it's not like, okay, I'm making a reference, going to clean the cat litter. That's a little bit of a job. I have cats, so I can say that. But it's not. I mean, it's got to be done, so I do it. But working, showing up and working a couple times a month, like you said, like, we give it all. And again, I feel like I'm talking for you, but it's a lot of energy and it's a lot of passion that we give.
Yes.
And it's not that we expect anything back. It's almost like a gift we get to share.
Well, you know, I'm going to speak on that, and you're very right. The thing that I I find probably the most difficult, I will say, is if I am in a situation where somebody says, "Oh, Avery, just get up and sing."
Oh,
I, I'm not real big on that. I don't
yeah.
particularly care to do that. My years and years of training taught me to be really ready to do just about anything, but it comes with rehearsing, knowing what I'm doing, having a sense of what's under me that I'm going to be able to present And to get to a point where there is a level of consistency in what I do, so that when someone sees me, or they may say, "Oh my gosh, you're really good." Well, that comes from a lot of work,
Yeah.
and not just popping up singing, just anywhere and any time. I do love to sing, don't get me wrong, and I will, but now I do it with some, with some weight behind me,
Yeah.
just get up and hum a tune, because that's not what, you know.
And Avery, for our listeners, please share with us again how they could get in touch with you if they want to hear your music more, if they want to book you or take classes.
Well, the best way, honestly, is Facebook. If you've got a Facebook account, then that's the best way. I do not have a website. I am at the Maltz Tribute Theater, and I am on the board, and I'm one of the instructors there. So if you go and you want to find out about me or what I'm doing, go to the website for the Maltz Jupiter Theater, and I'm there.
Wonderful, wonderful. And a couple more questions before we finish. You are so many times that we've spoken or I've called. We have sometimes we just have like a 2-minute conversation. And I remember so many times you say, "I'm working on a show, let's catch up, tomorrow or something," or "I'm practicing songs." For our listeners out there that are getting into this, how do you keep it fresh? Do you still take lessons? Do you learn from, we already said we learn from our students, but we ourselves as professionals, we need to keep it fresh. What's your secret to keeping your skills and talent fresh?
Well, that's a very interesting question. Good question too. But for me, I sing every day. That it's a muscle, as you know, with anything else. So if you go to the gym, you work out or whatever, and you strengthen and stamina. So I sing every day. I may not sing out vocally every day, but I hum or I sing every day. But I also love to go and see my friends perform. For me, it's a way of knowing what's happening in the community. It's the
Yes.
support of my friends, and it's also hearing what they're doing and how they may present one of those same 25 songs. And I'm impressed with it. And I do a direct steal if I love it, or I'll do
Yes.
a version of something that somebody else is doing. But you always put your own heart and soul into what you do. So if you're singing Fly Me to the Moon, it may have a different connotation for you than it does for me.
Yes.
Sing or do whatever it is from your heart and your perspective, and that'll keep it fresh.
Nice. Now, I want to actually, this is like a call out, but and out of left field. And I will have to, I'm not have to, but I will get to connect with Rob and I forgot the owner's name at Cafe Century over in Lake Park. If you're here in Florida, South Florida, check out Cafe Century, because I know, does Susan still do her open mics on Sunday nights?
As far as I know, yes, she does.
And you frequently perform there as well, or
Well,
you have last year.
I did in 2023. I did.
Has it
Uh,
been that long?
yes, it was that long ago.
Oh,
And
geez.
I will go occasionally on a Tuesday night when Rob has his open mic night.
Okay.
I go, to support once again, and to just see friends. We get together, may have dinner, or, someone is say, "Okay, I'm going to sing tonight," or, "Avery, are you singing tonight?" "Yes, I'll sing tonight," or whatever. So it's not all the time. I go maybe once or twice a month, and just to be out and support and find out what's going on in the community. There are so many new people in town to say
Wow.
to. Lots of friends are here doing shows, at, say, Palm Beach Drama Works. And if they've got a night off, they'll come and sit in or do something. So it's really kind of fun to do that.
Yes, it's just a wonderful place. The energy is so warm and welcoming there, and the talent is just above the charts.
It is indeed. And Rob is phenomenal. I mean, he has known how to put these kinds of things together for many, many years. And he is called Mr. Palm Beach for that very reason.
That's right, Mr. Palm Beach. Now, in closing, Avery, is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience as far as inspiring listeners to get more involved? Because I don't know, maybe I would think you'd like to agree with me, maybe, but there's nothing more greater or more beautiful than being able to express ourselves through our craft.
Yes, absolutely. I totally agree with you. There's very little that I can add to that, really. It's a passion, and if it will not leave you alone, if it keeps digging at your heart, then that's something that you must address and find out where it lives in you and what you can do about it. And then from there, it's really for me, as I say, I sing every day. I'm always dealing with music. I've got music everywhere. And I had a cat. If I had a cat, they would be all over the music. And my cat used to love to sit right in the middle of my music all of the time so that I would not forget that it was available.
I have
Oh,
one of my cats talking right now.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. And so that's what I say. I say, think about what it is that you want to do on a daily basis. Give it some time. Give it some thought. Put some of yourself into what you want to do. And trust me, if it keeps digging at your heart, deal with it. Let it lead you where you want to go. Because that's what it is. It's your call.
Absolutely. And on that note, haha, the I think the biggest limitation that we give ourselves or that others might give themselves is that they're afraid of rejection.
Mhm.
And I'll speak for myself. It's you find out you're not rejected. You're accepted and welcomed and encouraged.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yes. Over the years, all of us, we're not right for everything, but you need to put yourself in a position to know where those things are, and if you're not out doing something or trying to find out where you are or what's going on, then you'll never know. So don't be afraid to be, to for someone to say, "Oh, not this time," or "Oh, you're not quite right for this," because you may be right for the next thing that that person may be thinking of. It may not be that particular thing that you think you want, but they will keep you in mind for something else. And that has happened for me many times.
Yeah, the consistency of staying on the path
Yes.
and just grinning and bearing it as you're going, because I think that's the magic of life, Avery, is that every day is a new day and you never know who's going to call, who's going to show up, what paths are going to cross, or what you might read, what you might learn. I mean, there's just I think the younger I get,
Yeah, I'll take that.
excuse me, as I choke on my on my words, um, I appreciate that magic in life is the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
because we say God, people make plans and God laughs.
right. Exactly. Exactly.
So, so we can have ideas and goals, but um, be liberal, be loose with being open to what shows up.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. There's been many times when, I've gotten a call. As a matter of fact, I got a call about a month ago. Someone was looking for a jazz singer, and I don't consider myself a jazz singer at all. But I was recommended this particular thing because they were talking about jazz singers, but also influencers in their community. And a friend of mine suggested me because she thought that I've, been an influence in my community, and would I be willing to be interviewed for a show that they're doing in the Fort Lauderdale area in March. And I said, absolutely, I'd love to know more about it. And as a result, they're going to do a program with me and two other ladies,
Oh,
and
nice.
are thinking about, just really no singing involved, but just background and where I grew up. And as we're doing right now with your program.
Yeah.
Yes. So I thought that was very, very lovely and to be recommended. But that came out of, someone else recommended me for something. So these kinds of things happen all the time.
Yes. And what would you say to our audience out there watching and listening? What is your genre of music? What is your favorite? Is it? Yeah.
Gosh, that's very difficult to say. I love singing everything, really. I grew up in a Baptist church, and I have what I used to think of as a big black voice, a big gospel voice. And I never used to acknowledge that because I wanted to sing what I thought was Broadway,
Yeah.
which is a different sound from the sound that I grew up with. But as I've become more young, too, I have embraced the voice that I have, and I love my voice, and I love what I bring to each song that I do. So, if it's gospel, then I've got that. If it's Broadway, I've done that. Thank God for that. If it's the American Songbook, I bring my gospel sound to that. I bring every single thing that I know how to bring to whatever song it is. It's going to have the tinges of Avery Sommers in it. And that's what you can do best.
Yes. And not to detour away, I love my radio station and I have a talk radio, and my purpose is I want you to shine. You have such talent. There's so much talent out there. I am that voice to help you get more light. And I'm saying that without taking away from K4HD. I know that on Legacy Radio, where they play music, we're not playing music in my show. I've heard your songs. I've heard you sing. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge, Avery.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Legends, I have known those people now for many, many years. Dick Robinson, who is the owner of Legends Radio, and just a very dear, sweet man that I met through Jill and Rich Schweitzer.
Yes.
Are on the morning lounge with Legends Radio, and we've known each other many, many years. I met them in Palm Beach, and just became fast friends because Rich is an amazing musician, absolutely amazing, and he cut all of the tunes on my CD. They were all done in their studio.
Wow.
So I'm grateful to them. This goes back several years now, and they're still playing my music, which is really wonderful.
It is. It is. Well, thank you so much, Avery, for being on our show today. And as I mentioned earlier, we know each other a long time. You're part of my extended family, and I love you dearly. And you continue. Thank
This
you.
is an amazing opportunity, and I'm so thrilled that you thought enough of me to want me on your show. And congratulations to you for your show. It's wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. And keep doing what you're doing and sharing your love and your light and your talent with our communities. And it keeps growing, and I love it.
Thank you so much. And you keep doing what you're doing because it's very necessary. And I'm sure that you have a great, great many followers in your audience. So
Thank
keep
you.
it up. Keep promoting people. You're promoting yourself and you're working. And I love it. And I'm so thrilled for you. So, yes. And by the way, just a plug, come out to the Kravis for Mother's Day. Bring your favorite
Yeah.
girl or whomever and come enjoy Mother's Day, May 10th at the Kravis Center.
Love it. Love it. Well, we will be in touch.
All right.
We will be in touch. Thank you, Avery.
Thank you. Blessings to you. Thank you.
And for our listeners out there, Avery Sommers, you can find her on Facebook, Avery Sommers, Sommers, and you can connect with her there. Or if you have questions, you can find me, The Sound of Gold, on Facebook, and you can message me there as well. And in closing for today's show, I mentioned in the beginning of the show, we are in season 2 of The Sound of Gold. And so moving forward, I know many of you that have been following me for the past few years, outside of the radio show, but now on the radio show, I planned a very special treat for you. And that is that in closing of our show, for the last few minutes, I am going to play for you. And I'm so excited. if you know what I play, or if you don't know what I play original pieces. And what I do is I kind of feel the energy in the air or in the room. I'm home in my home studio now, but when I'm out at venues, depending on the energy in the room or the energy in the moments, I just kind of play that. And so sit back, relax. If you are driving, do not close your eyes. But if you are in a place where you can just kind of, it's the end of the day. It's Monday. It's the start of another busy work week, or maybe not so busy, but it's still Monday. So sit back and relax for a few minutes as I play. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It was such a treat to have Miss Avery Sommers on our show today, and I hope you got some information that you didn't know, or learned some information you didn't know, and you can rewatch this. This will be broadcasted, or this will be posted for you to rewatch if you have questions or want to get in touch with Avery. And in addition to that, tune in next week to find out who my guest will be. I'm so excited. We have some great guests in the next month and months to come. So stay tuned, and I will continue to look forward to playing for you in the shows. And just know that I'm playing just for you. I do not have anything memorized. I don't have any sheet music.